Middle-aged guys don't buy sports cars because they're having a midlife crisis. It's because they can finally afford the car that they want. I hate hearing people say, oh, he bought a Corvette because he's balding and needs to feel younger. No. As someone who's never earned much money because I made the spectacular decision to do what I love, rather than what was lucrative, I'm finally in a position in my late 30s where I can actually save up to buy my dream car. I get it if cars aren't important to you. I get it if you dislike the impact they have on the environment, and I get it if you think sports cars are too expensive and a hassle. I get it if you see a 40-something guy in a BMW M3 and assume he's compensating for something, but realize that the automotive enthusiasm is a huge part of life for a lot of people and can often be the biggest connection they have to family members or friends. As a car enthusiast, I look forward to increased electrification for a lower carbon footprint and ridiculous torque for better acceleration. I accept that my budget will have to increase for a cool exotic car and decrease for other pursuits. It's worth it to me, just like you might enjoy collecting stamps or having a closet full of nice clothes. It's also the first thing I talk about when I call my dad, since he used to race cars and motorcycles in the 70s. We bond over cars and car news. So the next time you see some guy with graying temples and a widow's peak driving a Ferrari, understand it might be the realization of a dream from your childhood and try to, not crap on that dream because it's not your dream. This is 100% correct. I'm a massive performance car enthusiast and I've had the privilege of owning some great cars in my life. But the only way I've done this is by making incredibly stupid financial decisions. I grew up poor as shoot, where having meat twice a week was a luxury. You gosh dang no, when I bought my Mustang, the only thought in my head was I can buy this because I can. It's a lovely car, I enjoy driving it, but it's more of a reminder that despite where I came from, I made it. Never thought about this, but that's a very good point. Thus, I'm not sure whether to upvote this or downvote it. Depends. Some dudes have finally got a financial point that they can do whatever they want. Some have an existential crisis and try to recapture their youth. Y'all is a brilliant use of the English language, and I refuse to be told otherwise. I'm British, from a small town in the middle of England. Nobody ever says y'all here, and I don't get why. When I first heard the word, I thought it was stupid, but the older I get, the more and more I realize how much I would easily use y'all in everyday life. I'm a manager in my office, so I often have to refer to multiple people at a time. You all, or you lot, or all of you is fine for now, but can come off quite harsh. I've now rotated y'all into the mix, and it just fits so well. It's soft, comes out friendly, everyone knows what I mean, it rolls off the tongue nicely, and I get to put that sweet southern accent on when I say it. I think we should all adapt to it because it works. When I took tech support calls from Apple UK customers, they would always hear my very distinctive, to an American, Appalachian southern accent and ask where I was from. I tell them Kentucky, ma'am or sir, and the reply was almost always, is that in Texas? I think it's the only southern drawl a lot of them know. As someone who doesn't have English as a first language, I hate how there's no difference between the singular and plural for you. So I also think the same. Y'all is brilliant, and I use it when I feel the need to refer to more than one person. There's a thing with people from Australia and certain parts of Pennsylvania where they say use or use. Nah, I like y'all better. I agree. Y'all is unique, useful, and happy. I might be biased since I was raised in the other Birmingham. I always eat dessert before dinner at a restaurant. When at a restaurant, waiting staff always find it weird when I order the dessert before the appetizer and the main course. They ask, oh, is that all that you're having? I'm like, no, I just want my cheesecake first, please. I have to convince them that I'm just the dessert first kind of guy. I feel like the main course is much more enjoyable when your dopamine levels are boosted. Life is short. Dessert first. My dad. Bizarre stuff. Have an upvote. I'm genuinely uncomfortable with the opinion. Upvoted so fast. Cool choice. Never feel awkward that your preferences are not synced with the norm. I had a friend who used to bring his own sauces and seasonings with him to eat. He'd order just like a regular patron, and then when the plates arrived, he would reveal a huge shaker of garlic salt and set it on the table. Dessert is the appetizer. Several appetizers as the entree as the dessert, you pack it for lunch. Back in my university days, it was cafeteria style, and I always ate my dessert first. It was kinda to get it out of the way so I could dig into the real food. Even if schools taught you how to do taxes or other life skills, not many of you would pay attention. Let's be honest, most of you barely pay attention on geometry. How many of you will honestly say you'll pay attention while they teach you how to do your taxes, or explain to you how to cook or sew? How many of you will pay attention while they explain to you how to change oil or how to do quick fixes around the home until you can get a professional? Not many of you, and thus would make the classes null and void. Also, how many of you would actually sign up for these classes if they were offered? Because a lot of my classmates wanted Japanese and German as foreign languages instead of the Spanish and French. And of those 50 students that petitioned for the classes, only 3 signed up. Business math was a class offered to high school students in the 80s. The class taught you to balance a checkbook, basic 1040 tax return, figure out interest rates, and about the stock market. The only students who took this class were going to study business administration or accounting. The class counted towards your math requirements for graduation. My school did teach this stuff in home economics. Nobody took it, and the people who did mostly couldn't get into any other electives. Edit, for those asking for context, my high school was about 5,000 kids near a major US city. This was the late 90s. I loved home ec. Home ec was great. We cooked. I figured out how to sew. I can sew, kinda. It was a long time ago, but home ec was great. I would actually love cooking classes. Yep, currently teaching a life skills class for high schoolers. 95% of them complain, don't complete the assignments, or try to sneak on their phone the entire time. Anyone that can read and identify numbers can do their own taxes. This, coupled with the frequent changes in tax code, means a class on paying taxes is bogus. It's a shibboleth for people that have never thought about school for more than a few minutes. You don't need to love your career, you just need to be able to tolerate it so you can finance doing what you love. Don't find fulfillment in your career. Find fulfillment in the hobbies you have, adventures you go on, and people you help because you have the financial freedom to do so. If you love your job, that's awesome, but this isn't realistic for many people. I stopped becoming motivated to have a career when I realized I don't enjoy doing any of what I love for profit, since it essentially becomes doing your hobby on other people's terms. I like having a job that pays the bills and simultaneously doesn't care if I use red or green to do the line art on the picture I'm drawing. Meh. Not a lot I love doing these days, so work is pretty hollow and draining no matter what job it is. For most people, work is at least half your life. Better make it something you enjoy, or at least is tolerable. I don't really love the work, but I love the perks. I can work from anywhere with electricity and internet access, and the pay is great. I found when I turned a hobby of mine into work, I slowly started to hate it. I'm fine with my job being meh. As long as it's relatively low stress and isn't killing me slowly, I'm happy. I keep my passions separate, so they stay fun to do. I need to love my career to get through the day. I've done so many jobs I've hated for so long, I refuse to do anything else. Why should I be miserable just to scrape by? True, but like I'm 21 now and I'm going to work until I'm in my 70s. That's a long time and I don't want to get burned out halfway, so yeah, I choose something I love. I know a few people who have the same mentality as you and they did very well. If you need a wheelchair due to your weight, it should be mandatory that is a manual chair, rather than a powered chair. Seriously, this needs to stop. So many people with nothing wrong with them other than gluttony and laziness. So many people walk into Walmart, plop their fat asses in the chairs that are for older people and cripples, and then just leave them in the middle of the parking lot like the waste of space and resources that they are. Let's be upfront and honest. You don't get to be 500 pounds due to genetics. 95% of people you see that are that size on a daily basis had nothing wrong with them before turning into a drain on society. Is it so common in the USA? Here in Italy, I almost never see obese people, like once a month, and supermarkets don't have those electric wheelchairs. I totally agree with this, but what would end up happening is they would bitch and complain and cause the employees or a family member to push them around all day instead of what you think would intend to happen. Maybe a better alternative would be their handicap needs to be reapplied for more frequently with certain parameters. I attend a large annual convention and 90% of the disabled section are thumb-faced scooter people. Walt Disney World is now like the spaceship on Wall-E. Obesity is now a way of life. But I like watching my 600-pound life on TLC. It's so messed up that talking to kids is now taboo. This is something I seriously want people's opinions on. I saw a post of Leo DiCaprio taking a selfie with a young fangirl, like 12 years old or something, at the US Open, and just sitting there chatting to her. The first comment I see is, I don't know, this makes me uncomfortable. I can't tell you how much it pissed me off. Someone in my eyes doing something so freaking cool as giving the fan the time of day and chatting to them can instantly be associated with pedophilia makes me sick. And then we call out celebrities when they don't want to take a selfie with us. I love kids. I love listening to them. I love escaping reality with them. I love teaching them and I love watching them grow. How does someone see that and think, well, then you must love having sex with them too? How freaking disturbed are you as a person for you to take that route? In this picture, Leo isn't even touching the girl. He's not sniffing the girl or doing some other creepy stuff. How is talking to a young person instantly associated with pedophilia? We desperately need to change this attitude because the people protecting and making young kids feel comfortable are being shamed and wrongfully accused of pedophilia. By all means, at all times, be wary, but don't just jump to pedophilia. That's messed up and we need to change that mindset. My mother owned a daycare for several years. We had cameras everywhere and the parents were even given access so they can check in on their kids whenever. You wouldn't believe how many times we had a parent or guardian call freaking out because their 3-year-old hugged or kissed another kid on the face or something. Like, dude, come on, they're toddlers. You're the one sexualizing the situation. When I was younger, middle and high school, I grew closer with my neighbor and family friend, a man in his late 50s, early 60s. I'm now in my 20s and consider this man to be a close friend of mine. He helped nurture my masculinity, gave me advice advice sparked my interest in technology. Some would say my friendship with this man was creepy. I say otherwise. Many people, especially of the older generations, just want to be a part of a child's journey into adulthood, imparting knowledge, giving advice, and being a friend. Every grown-looking guy is immediately assumed to be a predator. I've gotten weird looks walking around with my baby cousin, even though I'm still a minor myself, and related. I once saw a kid on a bus looking at me happily, and I made a silly face to make him laugh. When his mom turned around to see what he was laughing at, I pretended I was looking at my phone because I didn't want her thinking that I was creeping on her kid. This was before the Joker movie. There's a similar scene in it. But the reaction of the mom in the movie was my exact fear. Sometimes it sucks to be a man. My husband believes running pizza underwater to cool it down is acceptable. Pretty much what the title says. Not my opinion, but my husband's. In college, my husband and I would make oven pizzas and he would run his slices under the fountain water to cool it down faster. He says it didn't change the taste and was still good. Not all marriages are worth saving, Jessica. What in the every single is happening here? Does this not remove all the grease and flavor? Your husband is a raccoon. Kick him out before he eats the cat. Get out of the house now. Your husband is a serial killer. This is why no-fault divorce was legalized. Don't breed. His bloodline must end. Are you married to a dog with thumbs? I am so sorry. This is some straight up alien stuff. Disgusting! It's totally okay to play video games on the easiest setting to enjoy the storyline. I've been getting so much grief from my gamer friends for playing games on easy mode. They are calling me not a true gamer because I don't play on hard mode. I just want to enjoy the game for the story and not get frustrated dying endless times, not being able to defeat a boss or make a simple mistake. Does that make me less of a gamer? Hell, Jedi Fallen Order even made the story mode setting so that if you really want to enjoy the story rather than combat or exploration or whatnot, you can. You bought the game and have the right to play it however you want. I'd play normal because I believe it's how the game was meant to be played, not some ultra mega super hard difficulty that sucks the joy out of the plot. To those friends, I say just be grateful that you have a choice. Back in the day, I'd have given anything to play NES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on easy mode. These days, I play on whatever difficulty isn't going to give me PTSD flashbacks to the seaweed stuff in that damn level. My look on games changed over the years. At first, I played on easy because I wanted fun and not my ass kicked. Then I became a completionist and wanted a challenge. Now it is enough to just experience the world again without major struggles and the necessity to collect all legendary flowers of Baba Yaga. I play on hard sometimes, but if it isn't fun, I have no problem to dial it back. The game is for me to enjoy, not an additional chore in my life. Me on Forza with every assist. I like this. Some people play to showcase skills and climb up the leaderboard. Some play for the story, and some people play just to relax. As long as you like what you do, then do it. If you play video games, you're a gamer. Your preferred settings don't change that. One of the biggest failings of modern education is managing to convince a whole generation that Wikipedia is an unreliable source. Wikipedia is practically unlimited source for free knowledge, which is constantly being monitored by an army of nerds. The fact that we do not have to pay for access is a miracle. Near enough, every article has a full and reliable list of references at the bottom. I understand that students should be encouraged to use the references at the bottom for true research, but this is not taught. Students are simply told to stay away from Wikipedia. Anyone can change it. It's completely unreliable. There are serious problems with the political parts of Wikipedia, e.g. the current wiki war China has on Taiwan. Just a side note, I've learned more from Khan Academy than what I learned from my maths lecturer this semester. I just could not grasp the content with his teaching methods. I always use Wikipedia, but I use the Wikipedia's references on my references as well. I had to remake a search because one of the teachers caught me. She said everyone can write on Wikipedia. Just search for mistakes on Wikipedia and you will see that people might put misinformation there for whatever reason. It's not unreliable, it's just lazy, was what I was told. Well, miss, where the fuck else am I supposed to get the info? I'm in online marketing and I can tell you for a fact that there are a lot of marketing managers, agencies who spread false information through Wikipedia that benefit their clients. Wikipedia is often used to manipulate public opinion, so overall it is not a reliable source even though Wikipedia has some good information here and there. But I tell my students, Wikipedia is not a reliable academic source. This is because the information can be changed by anyone and citations are optional. A well-written Wikipedia article is a great place to start. It will provide a lengthy list of primary sources that are academically useful. Be aware of which paragraphs have citations and which do not. If you just want to know something for personal use, it's not a bad reference, but still be aware of what the articles are curated. Wikipedia is unreliable as soon as you delve into the specifics. There are some topics that a novice with a limited pool of sources just can't properly describe. If you are very knowledgeable about a certain specific topic, you can see it for yourself. Vanilla is not plain, it is a flavor, and it's a damn good one too. I hate always being teased for ordering vanilla ice cream or buying a vanilla cake. No, vanilla is not plain, it is a flavor, and there is such a thing as plain ice cream. Nasty, by the way. If anything, chocolate is more plain than vanilla since literally everything can be chocolate. I was listening to an interview with a woman who owns an ice cream shop, and she says that people who order vanilla often apologize for not picking the other more adventurous flavors. I don't get this. You like what you like, never apologize for it. While I agree with you that vanilla is a bloody brilliant flavor and the best ice cream flavor, not many creams actually taste of vanilla. You have to either go top shelf or make your own to get that vanilla pot flavor. Most commercial vanilla is just plain sugary stuff I can do without, not to mention that it's most expensive flavor out there. I think the point is more that relatively few people actively dislike vanilla ice cream, but at the same time it's not a lot of people's favorite. This has made me realize that if ice cream really had no flavor, it would just be like milk flavored. Blech. There is a plain ice cream flavor and it is a base for a lot of ice creams. It is called cream. As a brown-skinned dude, in retaliation to this anti-white far-left BS, when I get ice cream for groceries, it's always vanilla. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and if you feel like it, turn on post notifications. You get notified every time this channel uploads. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.